Hey YouTube, how the hell are we doing? It is Foul Play here, back again for some more modern action. So we're going to go ahead and keep this hand. We're versing cards here. I'm assuming that's what the acronym is standing for. Alright, it looks like we have a pretty reasonable starting hand here. I see a way for us to get a turn 2 Ancestral Mask, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do is cast Lotus Petal, float some mana, Utopia Sprawl, and then Utopia Sprawl cycling Ash Barrens for white mana. That gives us Ancestral Mask. That's a 3/3 creature. It's not the best thing, but hopefully we get some good aura follow-up from there. Alright, so also hopefully we don't get punished for going double green on the Utopia Sprawl. Alright, so opponent plays a gate and goes white-blue, so it looks like the blue-white variant of the Caw-Gate deck. We'll attack for 3. We're going to need a bit of a quicker clock than this if we're wanting to win this one, right? Suppose it could be a Familiar's variant as well. Looks like we're getting nice and land flooded, so exactly what we didn't want. 2 dead draws so far. Alright, opponent cycles the Suffocating Fumes. Alright, I'm slightly terrified here. Don't want to extend too many creatures onto the board, I guess. So naturally, 17 land deck. Mana flooded. Alright, so we'll go ahead and Abundant Growth. I guess on the same forest here. Draw trigger. And that's something, but I'm not going to play that into Suffocating Fumes. Let's attack for 6. And I guess we hold Forest in hand for information as well. Given we already have 4 mana on the board, we can play everything in our hand, in our library. Alright, so Preordain, 1 top, 1 bottom, and here we go. We're hitting some more hexproof creatures. Let's get in there for an attack. Opponent can trade if they wish. They choose to trade this way. Maybe a touch bizarre to me. Guess we still Hana in this spot. Leave the Scout in hand. Alright. The cat has been embalmed. It is coming back and yet another creature. Well, good news is our opponent can't block our Silhana Ledgewalker. Bad news is we're not adding much to the clock here. Go ahead, block. Opponent gains a life on the trigger. Alright, so they're going to fog all damage from green sources, gaining a life. It's fine. Buys them a turn. Flashback, tap an untapped white creature you control. So I guess they can flash this back as well. Modern Age comes down. Alright, we're running out of turn a little bit here. Journey to Nowhere as well. So mostly blue-white, but they have got main deck Suffocating Fumes. Maybe that's for the Elves matchup. It can be good into Bogles as well. Well, I suppose we drew an enchantment from the Abundant Growth there, but it's a pretty sad one. 2 cards in hand from my opponent, but they also have excellent card filtering here. Going to be able to draw through a good portion of their deck. Suppose we play out one guy. Alright, opponent ditching Ash Barrens and Counterspell to the Modern Age triggers, followed up by playing Brainstorm. They found their gate, so here comes the life gain very shortly. We should also note that our opponent has actually buffed our Ancestral Mask because of these Modern Ages here. We'll take 5. Glade Cover Scout can be a chump blocker from now on. We'll start attacking for 1. Or we could just draw Armadillo Cloak and win the game on the spot. That's a pretty good one as well. Alright, let's tap this one right. Alright, so short of some shenanigans from the opponent, we've got the trample damage. Should be all good. Oh, he's still got a Prismatic Strands in the graveyard, so he's going to fog the damage there. That's a bit of a frustrating one. And we miss playing our creature. Sorry about that. I 2'd through the turn, and it looks like we've skipped it entirely. Alright, opponent flips some Vector Guilders and kicks it off with Brainstorm. plays another gate. These creatures are still enchantments. We're still getting the buff on Ancestral Mask. Somewhat of a nice thing. Alright, we'll go ahead and block the chunky one. Our life total, if they can chain together a few more prismatic strands, it could come into question. It could be in a bit of trouble. We do find ethereal armor, so we're going to continue growing our guy for these attacks. Attack with both again, force them to have it. I think they do, otherwise they'd be looking to block and ballistic gate. Alright, so that's all fine. Another fog effect. Oh wait, our opponent's creature has flying. I've suicided the Silhana Ledgewalker. It's a fairly substantial mistake from me. Apologies for that. We do have another chump blocker to play out, although our opponent can buff their flyers, which isn't great for us. Alright, well, we did have a little bit of a slow start to this game. Our opponent was able to stabilize, unfortunately. Looks like they're just attacking on the ground. No, they're attacking in the air. They did buff the flyer, unfortunately. Sure, so if we block the token, we're in a good spot. It's weak to a Diabolic Edict effect, but we're pretty far behind at the moment, and we have to play for what we can. I guess they just have flying in the air and they beat us. So as long as they don't attack in the air, as long as they can attack on the ground, we can block, gain life. So our opponent has to misplay for us to win this. It's unlikely, but we'll let it happen. Alright, so opponent grows in the air, attacks in the air, and we are dead. -4. So it's worth noting they still had a Prismatic Strands in the graveyard, ready to make our life a bit of a miserable one. Alright, so this seems like a pretty good match for Standard Bearer. Their gate does have to target Standard Bearer, so it's worth a board in. We have seen Suffocating Fumes, so that's something to keep in mind, but not worth playing around. I used to have Flaring Pain in the sideboard, but I stopped seeing this deck, so I boarded it out. Flaring Pain is a good option in this matchup. Our opponent has a few enchantment creatures, so Ancestral Mask is possibly worth keeping as a 3, but I reckon trim 1. Other boards out are sort of questionable in my opinion. I think we just efficiency swapped the Silhana Ledgewalker out. This hand's like pretty weak. This hand's a lot better. No white mana though. I guess we gamble for white mana. We could mull to 5 for a better hand. God, this is really good having this combination of enchantments though. I wish one of these forests was an Ash Barrens. Alright, let's risk it for the biscuit. I could be just losing here. I don't want to lose to mulliganing to Oblivion though. The power of Rancor plus Ethereal Armor is really strong in most matchups as well. It's a really good clock. Oh, we should also be noting that this is actually game 4, not game 2. I've done this recording over 2 separate days, and I guess because I've closed the program, maybe it's freaked out a little bit and doesn't know what's going on really. All right, so another land, not a Plains, not an Ash Barrens, another forest. Rancor, attack, and then likely get chumped out by a cat next turn. So yeah, currently we are 2-1, 2 wins, 1 loss in this league. And yeah, it's probably a decent time to say if you are enjoying the content, finding it informative or entertaining. Helps out the channel if you decide to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And here we are flooding out fiercely. Oh, it's a shocker at the moment, isn't it? Well, opponent has got black on one of their gates here. We could get destroyed by Suffocating Fumes at some point. At least in that spot, we'd get our Rancor back, which is a castable aura. So yeah, little positives. End of turn Brainstorm for the opponent. And also they're cycling Ash Barrens, so they get to shuffle 2 unwanted cards away. Alright, here comes a cat. And not much else. Okay, Armadillo Cloak, yep. No worries about that one. We might just hold off on attacking for a turn or two. Till we complete our mana. Alright, and yeah, we continue to draw not much. Alright, here comes the Squadron Hawk. Well, I mean, good news is we're just a white mana off of casting Ethereal Armor being in a really good place. We have access to Ash Barrens and Plains, a total of 5 copies, plus the 4 Lotus Petals. So we can actually get there. We do find a Lotus Petal. So we'll cast Lotus Petal. Now we need to make the decision. I think the decision is for Ethereal Armor here, as nice as it would be to resolve Armadillo Cloak. Oh, has our opponent got Counterspell? Suffocating Fumes? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and concede there. I think we're too far behind at this point with Gate on field. 4 gates total, so we'll concede. Good games to our opponent. I think it was worth risking. It didn't pay off. There's definitely an argument to mulligan, but that's not what we did. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you thought down below. And until next time, have a great day. See you then.